on my way now. I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now.
Today we are over on the beautiful west side of Cape Breton Island. We absolutely love this place. By the way, we are in Inverness, and later in the video we're going to a different spot on the island that we've never been to before.
Yeah, and throughout the course of the video we're going to be answering a question that you guys keep asking, which is why did we recently leave Halifax? What were all our reasons for wanting to move out of the city?
So we're over at Inverness Beach. It may not look like it. It's actually just on the other side of that dune there, so we're going to take you there shortly. But first, just a tiny bit of background on us. I'm sure there's a lot of new people watching the video. We have a lot of experience with Halifax. We've lived there for over 20 years. We've owned 3 different homes in that city as well. And then recently we decided to sell it all.
Our most recent property in Halifax was actually a downtown condo. It was right on the waterfront. It was super central. We really loved it. We bought it in 2020 during the pandemic, and we had moved from the north end of Halifax to downtown. We were so happy about it, so excited. And it kind of like died out after a little bit of time, but we'll talk about that later. But we did actually rent it out when we were traveling, because we travel a lot. We spend a good portion of the year traveling. So we basically at this point sold our condo. We have moved our residence technically to Cape Breton, but we won't be spending a ton of time of the year here. We recently bought an RV. And we also spend a good portion of the year in the Dominican Republic. So if you're watching for the first time and going, what? There's loads of videos on all of this, including our condo, including our RV, on the channel.
I'm totally distracted at the same time by all these boats. I've never been to this part of Inverness Beach. There's all these colorful fishing boats here. It's pretty cool.
It's clearly where they come down and leave the boats. I think there's some tours you can do from here too. Pretty cool.
Well, I always forget just how beautiful this beach is here in Inverness. Wow.
The beaches on the west side of Cape Breton do not get any better. Like, they are amazing. This is some of the best beaches you're gonna find probably in all of Canada. I know some people will debate that, but I will debate with them. These are gorgeous, gorgeous beaches. The water's usually really nice, especially as you get later on in the season. And look at the sand.
It's all sand except these enormous rocks, but
yeah.
these are just here at the entrance.
I know, but they're gorgeous, gorgeous beaches all over this side of the coast.
One other thing that's beyond impressive at this beach here is it's wheelchair accessible. They actually have wheelchairs that can go on the beach. I don't know if there's other beaches in Cape Breton where you can do that. I absolutely love that.
I just want to point out the busyness of the beach. So today it's like 25 degrees. It's a perfect weather day. We are in the middle of August on a Saturday. So it probably doesn't get busier or more perfect a day for the beach than it is today. And well, is it really that busy? There's loads of space. I love that. Of course, if you were in like the Halifax area, I'm sure there's certain beaches that get super packed on a Saturday, but this is like a Saturday on the west coast of Cape Breton. Really amazing that you can come down here and find your own little spot on the beach. We were in Italy a couple of years ago. We went to the beach outside of one of the main cities in Sicily, and it was packed.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like literally you couldn't move on the beach, and people kind of laughed at us for pointing out how busy it was. This is a Nova Scotia beach for you.
Yeah, that was in Palermo, but in Nova Scotia beaches, the best part is people will sit as far as they can apart until it gets filled in.
Exactly.
This beach is so big, it'll never fill in. Also, I want to point out this. We got some kite surfers. Kite surfers in Inverness. Are we in Cabot? What's going on here?
For those of you that don't know, the town that we live in the Dominican Republic, it's called Cabot, and it's famous for kite surfing. So we feel right at home seeing all the kites, or 2 kite surfers right here.
So let's talk about one of the main reasons we left Halifax, and quite frankly, the city's not affordable anymore. And over the years, we've noticed that changing, rising cost of living, and we kind of said, I don't know, we're not getting as much out of the city as we want, that we're putting in, and it's just frankly unaffordable.
Yeah, so we originally lived out in the suburbs, about a 20-minute drive from downtown Halifax when there wasn't too much traffic. And we moved into the city with the whole point of being able to go eat out, do lots of things in the city. But in the last probably 4 or 5 years, eating out, as many of you will know, has become so unaffordable. I'd say it's gone up a good
30%.
I was gonna say 40% even, maybe.
It almost goes up 20% every year, so that's not fun to us.
Yeah, so even when we spend a couple of days, or we come into the city for a week at a time, it would almost be unenjoyable to go out and eat at the places that we used to love so much, just because it costs so much money. And really all the costs that come along with like owning a place ended up being a lot more than we expected. Of course, I did say we owned a place for a long time, so we knew what was involved, but like property taxes went up, mortgage rates went up like crazy, especially in the last couple of years. We're actually just about to renew our mortgage, and that's where we kind of felt like maybe it's time that we sell. We did rent out our property, and you would think, given how much rent it is in downtown Halifax, we'd be making so much money every month from renting it out, but it never really felt like that. I thought at first like we'd feel like we have all these, you know, leftover money from the month-to-month rent, but it never really happened.
Then in the end too, we spent so much time in the DR. We fell in love with that place. It's about a third of the cost of living.
Yes.
That's pretty nice. So
yeah, I know we can say that the cost of living has gone up exponentially, probably everywhere in the world, but we definitely felt it more when we came back to Canada.
You guys hear us say this quite often, but we find Canada to be one of the most expensive countries in the entire world. That's hard to admit. It's hard to say because we're Canadians, but we've been to over 50 countries. I think we're at 60 at this point, and it's very, very noticeable. Like when we come back to Canada, we end up spending more money than we do on the road. So all those were just decisions for us to kind of leave the city, and now we're falling more in love with the nature in Nova Scotia in general, and Cape Breton. I mean, look at this. Look at this place where I'm standing right now on this absolutely beautiful beach on the west side of Cape Breton.
We have just come over to Whit's Public Coast because they have this cute little patio out here. This is actually part of Cabot Links, which is a very, very famous golf course. It might sound a little bit weird because we're not golfers, but we came and stayed here during the pandemic in 2020, and oh my goodness, this place is amazing. They have a bunch of restaurants, an amazing hotel, so even if you're not a golfer, definitely worth visiting because they have great food, great hotel, all the thing, and it's right in the middle of Inverness.
We'll have to try this beer quickly because I know you guys like when we kind of try and sample it.
This is a Cabot Ale, so they have their own beer here called the Cabot Ale. It's done by Breton Brewing, which is...
Breton Brewing, which is pretty close to where I grew up in Sydney. It's one of my favorite breweries in all of Nova Scotia. Easy drinking, light beer. We thought we'd come to the patio because it's a beautiful Nova Scotia summer day, but more importantly, we thought we'd elaborate a little bit more on, again, why we're leaving Halifax. Huh?
Yeah, and elaborate a little bit more on our, like, maybe a disconnect that we started to feel from Halifax. I guess that's a sort of our second big thing about leaving Halifax. First was the affordability. Second, if you just started to feel a disconnect from the city and not feeling like we were really enjoying being there that much anymore. The big thing about it, you know, we love to go and spend a week there, visit our friends and family, but then we were just kind of done. Yeah,
once we say all that, and then you throw in, we had this YouTube channel now for about 8 years. We've been traveling a lot, and over the years we spend way less time in Halifax, so it's all those reasons we found kind of a new home that we base ourselves out of in Cabot Links in the Dominican Republic, and it just felt like the right thing to do. It felt like it was time. We were ready to leave the city anyway, and all these rising costs and just how unaffordable Halifax is just kind of made us do it. Huh? It helped.
Yeah, and I think I will say Halifax is an amazing city. It's developing like crazy. It's changing a lot. It's becoming very, very beautiful. As we talked about in many Halifax videos, the boardwalk is incredible.
Yep.
I love Halifax, and I don't want to say that I don't, but I don't feel the need to live there any longer.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We are big cheerleaders for Halifax, the city, and all the change that's happening, for all the good things that are happening there. The city is on track to be, you know, one of the top cities in Canada at this point. So it's absolutely amazing. But we were just ready to move on. And speaking of moving on, well, we're going to move on to another part of Cape Breton right now. Well, we have come over to West Bay here in Cape Breton. This area is absolutely beautiful. It's our first time here in this location, and we're going to show you our accommodations. We're staying at Piper's Creek Cottages, and we're going to show you around. Anna's back there actually starting a brunch. We're going to take you through brunch as well, but we're going to give you a tour of this place.
Yeah, we're just about to make a really yummy brunch. It's always fun to come over to an Airbnb or a cottage rental, get to have like a really well-stocked kitchen, which this place is, and make a yummy lunch or brunch. We have actually ditched the RV. You may have noticed that. This is not inside the RV. It's slightly bigger than that, so it'll be a little easier to cook. I enjoy cooking in the RV, but this might be a little bit better.
Yeah, we might as well start the tour right here.
Sure.
This is the absolutely gorgeous kitchen.
Isn't it great?
Look at the appliances. I just want to point out that fridge and microwave.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I couldn't have designed this better myself. I love all the black and grays happening with the splash of red. I love the fridge and the microwave too. I also have like a toaster that's red. They did splashes of red all around the place, and I love it.
There's a table here. We kind of moved it just a little bit so I could plug in and make an office, but it's a big open concept, you guys, with windows everywhere. We'll get into that. You got a little living room here with a sitting area, and you got another little desk.
Yeah, there's a TV over there as well, so maybe we'll watch some shows tonight. Still on the Ted Lasso, guys. Might seem like we've been watching it for a while. I feel like we have, because we started from the beginning, but we don't have that much time to watch shows, so it takes a while for us to get through a whole series.
It absolutely does. Here is the bed. What I love about this place, like, look at all the details, like all the decor.
The design's really great. I love these things on the wall. I wonder how they did that. Like, really, really cool. And that has the shelves on them. They have a little area over here to put all your stuff and hang things.
The most important thing is right here.
Oh, they have robes here. One of the first, like, non-hotels that we stayed at that have robes. Like, what an awesome feature. Might sound silly to some people, but honestly, robes, like, just take things over the top. I love them.
There's also slippers, but we'll just go right into it this way to the bathroom.
Just like the kitchen, I love the bathroom. They did a great job with it. You got your, like, sink area over here, toilet, but the shower is what it's all about. Oh my goodness, I love the shower. Again, if I were to design something, I would do something like this. It's got like the marble, it's black, it's glass, it's got a rainfall shower head. The best. I cannot wait to get a shower in there.
They actually have one of these cool mirrors too. Look
Love
at this.
that too, those backlit mirrors.
Yeah, they come on. They're amazing, and they just, I don't know, they just add a perfect touch to it all.
Yeah.
As much as we enjoy the inside, it's really all about the outside here. Look at the patio. If you're wondering, that is a hot tub over there. So that's going to be great.
Maybe we'll use that later. Hopefully the rain will, it's not too bad outside, but there is potential rain, but it's kind of covered, so we could maybe sit in that hot tub even if it rains. Got like loungy chairs on this side, and then way over here, they have a sofa bed. I think, is this a fireplace?
I think it's a propane fireplace.
I'll have to find that out later tonight. And then of course, a barbecue back there.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to test this out. It has been raining a little bit, so these are all damp and wet right now, but I'm not going to complain, especially when you got views like this.
Yeah.
The views in this place are absolutely stunning. Again, it's an area of Cape Breton that I've never been to, but everywhere we go on this island is just absolutely over the top beautiful. So we said we're making brunch. We are making a skillet today, you guys. We got some potatoes frying up here. Sausages, we'll kind of cut those up, fry them up, of course. We're gonna put some hollandaise sauce on at the end with a couple eggs. It's gonna be a great little skillet. Anna's back there, I think, making us a Caesar, good old Canadian bloody Caesar.
I'm making Caesars, I'm pouring them out of a pre-made can. Cheating a little bit this time, but when you're traveling around, it's a little easier to buy them pre-made.
We got hot sauce. We can throw some hot sauce and pepper in there.
Yeah, I put some hot sauce in, I put some lime in. That's what we got.
It counts as making one still, even though it's from canned.
Let's do a little Caesar test. It was very strenuous to make them coming out of a can.
We did add some things to it. Hot sauce, pepper.
Pepper, I added pepper as well. That's really good. Surprisingly good for a canned Caesar. But going back to our topic that we've been discussing this whole video, something we've actually found as we get older, we're probably not as young as some of you guys think, is that we're really enjoying nature a lot more than we did when we were younger. I think we didn't really appreciate it before. We liked being in the city a lot more, being in big cities and going to big cities and living in a medium-sized city. Now we enjoy, I don't know if I'd ever want to live in the middle of nowhere, but I certainly enjoy coming and visiting for a little while, for a few days, getting out of the city and like being in nature and doing outdoory things. It's funny about that.
We had our city life, I guess, but what we're saying is we still love big cities and we like to visit them.
Yeah, but now I like to visit a big city. I don't want to feel like I need to live in a city and have city life, and that comes back to all the things we've been talking about. Some of it is just the expense of it. But now with the life that we have, we can go spend a city, like go to Mexico City like we did a couple months ago, and spend a couple weeks there and then leave. Well, I can certainly tell you that it smells and looks delicious. I love doing homemade brunch. It always takes way longer than you expect it to. I feel like it took like 45 minutes to an hour, but I think it's gonna be worth it. Let's try it. We got those fried eggs on top. Got some yolk happening here. We also, I don't know if we said, the sausage that we got is maple sausage, being super Canadian today.
Well, we're out in the Canadian wilderness.
I know, out in the Canadian wilderness, eating maple sausage. We're just missing the maple bacon and maple syrup. And well, let's try a bite of those. I feel like in general, you guys are used to hearing us describe food that we did not make for ourselves, but we did. This is just as good as restaurant food. This is honestly something I would order in a restaurant. We cooked it really, really well. Very proud of us. The eggs are perfect. The hollandaise sauce, I'm going to admit, came out of a package, but Hollandaise sausage is too annoying to make, and it's really good out of a pack. So sorry on that one, but it's still totally delicious and perfect on top of this. This is kind of one of my favorite brunches.
Yeah, what else do we got in there? Peppers, red
Peppers, onions.
Red onions.
Yeah, there's the sausage, the eggs, the potatoes. I think we covered all of it.
It's a hearty breakfast.
Yeah.
Plus, we got, well, the Caesar, which we need. One thing we wanted to bring up on the topic of today's video is just like our financials are drastically changed since kind of selling everything and leaving Halifax. So everything is a little bit different now, which is, it just has its pros and cons, I guess.
Yeah, we have some friends that do something similar to us, and a lot of them kind of did something opposite of what we did. We always had a property throughout our time, but a lot of people that do like the travel life, whether or not they're making YouTube videos or not, but they sell it all and then they go and travel full time, so they don't have any expenses. And we never did that before. It always sounded appealing, but we also always had a property. We always had a fair bit of expenses back at home, so it limited us in a certain aspect. So it'll be nice for at least for a little while to have very few expenses.
Now I feel like them. We have we have not many expenses. We sold everything we own. We've done something crazy, but we
still do have an RV. And
we have an RV. We have some things. It's not that, and we're not trying to be financially irresponsible. We have some big ideas, and to do those big ideas required us to do what we are doing. We mentioned before we're thinking about buying a property in the Dominican Republic. You guys know we love it. At the same time, if that didn't work out, right now it's fine.
Yeah, we've also spent a significant amount of time just looking around at property in Cape Breton, places like this. Like we've often talked about the idea of having a piece of land and then putting maybe an investment property, something very similar to where we are right now. So this brings up lots of ideas for us. So we're always throwing around different ideas, and that's just something. Getting rid of all the expenses at the moment, it just opens up some possibilities.
Yeah. Our goal, like a few years ago, we had this goal to get our expenses as low as we can because the costs were rising. You know, and living in Halifax, one of the major cities, especially on the, in Eastern Canada, on the East Coast, we said, okay, you know, it's time we move on from the city. We absolutely love the city. We highly recommend any of you watching to go visit Halifax. We've just that time of our life is done.
It's done.
It's done. And now we have less expenses, I guess, a bit more financial freedom, but we need to make a move probably at some point. We just don't know when, and we're okay with that. We're not big planners like all the time.
Yeah, and we also throw out ideas, and then sometimes we'll think something's a wonderful idea, and we get really hooked on it, and then it doesn't work out, and we're okay with that. I know we can pivot probably a lot easier than most people can, so that's fine with us.
Good example. The tiny house.
Yes.
You know, our tiny house didn't work out in the end. We still love it, but that's okay. You only learn from your mistakes. You never know until you try. But for now, we're just gonna enjoy the moment, enjoy our cheeky little beers in the hot tub, wait for hopefully the sky to clear up and get a little bit of stars out there.
That'd be nice.
And that'd be nice. And hot tubs in Nova Scotia. If you guys are from Nova Scotia, you know what I mean. They're very hot commodity. We highly recommend. Well, you can see the sign behind us here.
Yeah.
Pipers Creek Cottages.
We'll link in the description below. If you don't have to Google search them or anything, although you can find them that way. But we'll put a link just below the video. You just have to expand it, and it'll be there, and you can click and book.
Big thanks to them. Big thanks to Pipers Creek Cottages for hosting us. They're the nicest people ever, and as you can see, their places are over the top gorgeous.
Yeah, you will not be disappointed.
I think we have maybe another video left here in Canada. That's right, we're going somewhere soon. You guys will, I don't know if we're going to reveal in the next video or not, but we're going on an adventure again, leaving Canada for a while. It's going to be exciting. We can't wait to share all the content with you. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe, click the like button, grab yourself a drink. Cheers to you guys. We appreciate you coming back each and every week, especially the channel members and Patreons.
All right, guys, that's it.
From Cape Breton, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.